daily news review segment of the Full Breakfast Show. All right, so last week we told you that, I think if you listened to us on Thursday, on Friday, we were just joking around saying, oh, Fumi is going for, casual leave and all of that. So, yeah, it's just me and you this week. So let's get to discuss Nigeria's issues. Let's get to or rather, dig deep into some of the headlines this morning. Okay, so for this week, it's just you and me and our analyst. So feel free to always be a part of the program. Let's do this together. Let our voices count in all of the good, the bad, and even the ugly too. Let our voices count. Let's raise our voices and let's say how it did was, in the Kemana chicken jiki. Just how they do you sha make we sure they do one like that. Okay, make we sure they talk because sometimes keeping things in is not the best option. So let's just talk about them in a civil manner, of course, definitely in a civil manner. So I hope you had a great weekend. I hope that this week is looking great for you. April will be here in hours. Let me not say days. April will be here in hours. So let's make sure that we get to make good use of the month April, and let's see where all of that takes us to. All right, so let's head on straight to go into the different dailies for today. Don't forget you can watch us live on YouTube at WFM917. Get to watch me live, and of course Emmanuel will be joining me shortly to do this morning. So do well to join us live on YouTube at WFM917, Facebook, Instagram, X at WFM917, and of course listen to us live from any part of the world, www.wfm917.com, or you can also download our mobile app. Yes, on Google Play Store or Apple Store, WFM 917. So please do well to go ahead and do all of this and carry us along wherever you go, because we want to be where you are. Okay, so yes, let's head on straight to the headlines coming to you live from Women Radio WFM 91.7. Let's start up with the Punch this morning. Now, on the Punch newspaper, we're just going to take about two headlines from the different dailies this morning. So from the Punch, governors snub 98 billion naira UBEC funds despite education crisis. This is a problem. It is a problem. All right. Another one says Ogun PDP films as 6 lawmakers defect to APC. How many people remain for this PDP? How many people remain for PDP? Gong. All right, so please do well to send us WhatsApp messages or text messages as the headline comes to you. Okay, that's true. I've not heard from Prince for some time. Maybe he traveled. But Prince, I hope you're fine. I hope you're good. Okay. Now the number to send your WhatsApp messages to or text messages to is 070 0703 070 56537 070 56537. Those are and then 08155 917 917 08155 917 917. Those are the numbers to send in your WhatsApp or text messages. All right, let's head on to the Guardian newspaper. On the Guardian newspaper, we will move over 70% obedient structure to APC, Balami vows. All right, it says we'll move over 70% of obedient structure to APC, Balami vows. Another one says Kwankwaso announces resignation from NNPP. All right, that's another headline from The Guardian. Now let's head on to this day newspaper. On this day, Shatima tax NCS to sustain world-class standards for made in Nigeria goods. Another one on this day says Ondo on edge. Governor Yedatiwa grapples with escalating security pressure. All right, so the insecurity is affecting a lot of sectors, of other sectors, crippling health. I mean, we're going to look at that a bit today. And of course it has to do with what's happening in Ondo. So a lot is just going on. It's anyway last week I was saying, like, we can't even point at one particular part of our economy or particular parts of or a particular sector and say, oh, this is really working fine. Let me take advantage of this. But all right, so that's coming from on those states, and let's head on. Okay, and those are the two headlines from the this day newspaper. Let's head on to Daily Trust this morning. All right, on Daily Trust, many feared killed as gunmen hit Plateau community. Insecurity and so many communities that have been hit in Plateau State and so many other places. Sometimes it just keeps me thinking or gets me thinking. How many people can remember all those kind of places? Gone. Because yesterday I saw a video of, was it a bike going through? I think somebody was videoing a town in Kwara where people had left. Like the people that were staying there, they don't leave because of the insecurity, kidnapping, and all sorts. They have left, they've deserted the place. The place looks all quiet and, abandoned, just because of the level of insecurity around there. And that's really sad. That's where a lot of people have their livelihoods. That's where a lot of people, have made families. So now it's like, oh, they can't go back to those places anymore, which is really, really sad. So I just hope that, our governors were, security personnel, the president, and everybody's hands is on deck. But unfortunately, a lot more than half of the headlines I'm going to be reading out to you this morning is probably APC, PDP, and all of that just doing their thing, and different political parties doing their thing. But nobody's coming together to actually deal with the root issues we have on ground. Anyway, hopefully we get it better. Okay, still on Daily Trust 2027, APC still jittery despite 31 governors, 90% National Assembly member, says ADC. All right, so that's the opposition as it is right now for APC. All right, so we have 31 governors out of 36 in APC. Okay. All right, so let's head on to the Vanguard newspaper. NDLEA forced shipment of cocaine consignment hidden in stockfish heads. Oh, cow. Stockfish head. That's Oporoko now. So now, Oporoko, where we they manage shop now, they don't turn out to where did they carry drug, they walk up and down. Anyway, thank God NDLEA don't catch. And funny enough, if you read probably like 10 headlines, you'll find one of these issues coming up. NDLEA or bossing this, or get it's just a lot to read. And well, thank God NDLEA is doing what it can do, but even us as a society, we need to be better, honestly. We know things are hard, and for some people, that could just be the only solution to their problem. Make I just carry on once, make I just do on once, get the money, take solve my problem. But then again, you never can tell if not that once, then could be your end. All right, heading on to the next one on the Vanguard. NCC orders telecos to compensate subscribers for poor service. Okay, so I'm just thinking right now. NCC orders telecos to compensate subscribers for poor service. Can we have somebody that will tell all the electricity distribution company to compensate us? Anyway, it's totally not their fault. As the president said, in his birthday message, we're dealing with external factors, and there's probably little we can do about it, but things will get better. So yeah. Anyway, Premium Times. 146 deaths recorded, 38 health workers infected as Lassa fever spreads in Nigeria. Every day we can't read about this Lassa fever every day, and the numbers they increase small. How far now? Our health sector. How far? What's going on as regards this Lassa fever? Because not be today Lassa fever starts, and it's not something that we are not aware of. It's not something that we are not aware of. So what's going on, starting from the federal government to the state government, what are we doing about this? Because the numbers keep increasing. Our health workers are at risk, our children are at risk, everybody is at risk. Because I will go, who know what they do as regards this Lassa fever? All right, another one on Premium Times. Pastor arrested for allegedly raping and impregnating 16-year-old girl. This one good. No, they use religion, they cover. No, just they use religion, they cover. Mm-mm. If you be bad person, you be bad person. All right, let's head on to the next one right here. Let's head on to the cable newspaper, or rather to the Nation. On the Nation, on the Nation newspaper, Oyo Speaker Ogundoye declares 2027 governorship ambition. Oyo Speaker Ogundoye declares 2027 governorship election. Now, police bus container hijack syndicates. Police bus container hijack syndicates recovered 100 million naira loot in Ibadan. Ibadan, okay. 100 million naira loot in Ibadan. Okay, kudos to the police there. Now, heading on to the cable, INEC officials present as Wike leads delegate to PDP convention in Abuja. Um, so I was just discussing with my husband yesterday. I said, Wike now is leading delegate to convention, PDP convention. Who is Wike actually? You know, who is he really working for? Okay, let's head on to Tinubu, the next one on the cable newspaper. All right. Let's head on to the next one on the cable newspaper. It says Tinubu, Nigeria overcome electricity challenge. We are a resilient nation. Nigeria will he says that Nigeria will overcome challenge, electricity challenge. We are a resilient nation. We'll be looking at this, all right, with our analysts. My question is: are we now looking at Nigerians as a resilient nation, and we just allow a lot of things to fly because the Nigerians that we go chest down, we go chest down, and that's just what's happening. I mean, feel at 1,003 plus in different places, and we're just chesting it and going on and telling ourselves it go better, it go better, it go better. We could just do what we do, but then there are a lot of people that are not finding it funny. The meals right now that we get to eat is not. Anyway, we'll talk about it. The Daily Post says fuel in Nigeria not cheap. Stop naira to dollar conversion comparison. Oyeloron Oyeyinka wants. And this thing, it they bust my brain most times when I hear it. Because say, especially from some probably some aides that will come out on TV and be saying a lot of things. And I think I listened to one yesterday, just a clips of it, and he was talking about how we should be grateful or something like that, that Nigeria is getting better and all that. Are we going to compare the cost of living in Nigeria and that of abroad? Abroad is much more expensive and all. He has family members there. And then the host of the program asked him, okay, why are your family members abroad? Since Nigeria is getting better, why won't you bring them back here so that we'll get better together in the country? Anyway, so it's just a lot going on there. So when I hear all this naira to dollar conversion, fuel is cheap in Nigeria. Nigeria is selling one of the cheapest. Like, are we really serious when we want to look at it? All right, so we get to also look at this too with our analysts. So let's go ahead and look at another one from Daily Post. Ondo nurses threaten night duty withdrawal after armed raid in Akure. So now they want to withdraw their services from night duty. So how about we have women who maybe start labor in the night, they come in? How about people who have emergencies? How about people who have accidents? How about people who, have one thing or the other to do, maybe midnight and come to the hospital? And there are no nurses there, all because of what? Insecurity. Are we seeing what I was saying earlier? It's crippling other sectors of our economy. On the Tribune, teachers shortage, federal government moves to recruit retirees. 2027 ADC is dead without Peter Obi as flag bearer, Fayoshe insists. That's coming from the Tribune. Let's head on to the pen pushing. Jets blast damages aircraft at Lagos airports. I just hope that everyone involved in this is safe. The last one on pen pushing, Delta State Police Command cracks down on traffic offenders in Warri, Asaba, and prosecutes 68 for various offenses. All right, so those are the headlines this morning from different dailies. Let's get to maybe anyone that piques your interest. You could definitely read it up and know exactly what is going on. All right, so this is your Women Radio WFM 91.7, 12 minutes to 9 on the side of the radio. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser. And just in case you're wondering where's Fumi, yes, Fumi is on few days leave, just to rest and get herself back together so that she can give us her very best. Okay, so we'll be doing this together. Annalise is already here with us this morning. But in the meantime, feel free to send us WhatsApp messages to 070 317 56537 or 08155 You can dial the numbers 07000 or 09155 Don't forget to watch us live on YouTube at WFM 917. All right, so let's get to talk to our analyst right about now. Good morning, Emmanuel. How are you today? How's the weekend?
Good morning, Rose. Good to be back on this platform again. I guess my weekend was cool, and I hope yours was also. And thank God for the rain that actually
Ah,
helped us a bit, because you have to be
mhm,
grateful for it, and the fact that
honestly.
we've been heated up for quite a while. But I think this should just help us a bit.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. I just hope that this will be the beginning of rain because we can't do so much. We can't stay so long without rain. The
Yeah.
borehole in my house, the water actually went very down, Emmanuel, because rain not really fall. So when that rain fall that Saturday night, if you see my jubilation, my own was just even the water self, not even the heat.
Wow.
It was more
It's
about
just
the water itself.
it's just the fact that we need to just understand how our ecosystem works,
Yeah.
and then everything works hand in hand. And I think let's hope that we've been having climate change,
Mm.
weather has not been stable, forecast has not been on point, 90 or 100% that like they used to get it, they're around 70 or 80. But let's hope that this year is going to be better. And I think in some state also, the rain on Saturday evening wreak havoc. And how will I put it? Wreak havoc. And one thing is the fact that I think places like Oshogbo,
Mm.
the rain actually wreak a bit of havoc. And we just have to send our sincere sympathy to those whose source of livelihood were affected.
Oh. Yes, of course. We just hope that you're able to, get yourselves back and you're able to pick up from because some of these things, like you said, our climate is no longer smiling at us. And funny enough, in this part of the country, we're just taking it very, gingerly, like say nothing day. Any which way, this is your Women Radio WFM 91.7. Imana, were you invited to the president's birthday? Although he said it's a low key birthday, he decided to do this year, the 74th. But did you at any point, get to be a part of it? Because quite a number of things were said there, apologizing for the economic situation, telling Nigeria that things will be better, although we're dealing with external factors, things will be better, and da 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 da, and all of that. I just saw his message and I read it. I'm like, okay. And then there's something that caught my attention in that, but was it in that? I'm not sure if it was embedded in that message, but I read somewhere where he said that, that his salary, is going to go straight to the families of the fallen heroes, and all. So his salary from when he started, I think she said from when he started till, when he leaves office, that particular, sum is going to go to the families of the fallen heroes. I'm like, okay. I didn't even know how to feel about that because it's one thing to say and it's another thing to do. But meanwhile, that sum is going to get there. And then there are a lot of other questions that are coming to my head that I don't know whether I should ask on radio, but before they come and point fingers at me. But you're not sure, the president celebrated his 74th birthday during the weekend. And I would just, join this to the whole birthday thing because this particular message came as a result of the whole 74th birthday. So this is starting on the cable, and it says that Tinubu Nigeria will overcome electricity challenge. We're a resilient nation. So that's the headline we're starting with. Now, the president expressed optimism that Nigeria will overcome its challenges. And he said he was saying this at a special, or rather after a special birthday prayers held in his honor at the National Mosque in Abuja. The president said that the moment was that of gratitude to God and sober reflection on the state of the nation. And he was talking about the economic situation or challenges that we are facing, saying that it's due to external factors, including the ongoing crisis in the Middle East. And we're going through a difficult time, so because of that, but he prays that Almighty Allah gives us peace and all. And he's saying that the electricity situation was definitely going to be handled, and we'll overcome it because we are a nation that used to chest everything, because that's what it means to be resilient. So my own is, okay, with all of these messages that you've dropped, you've said, from your birthday, somewhere in my mind is doing me as if we are taking advantage of the fact that we are resilient people in Nigeria. No worry, let everything go. Now Nigerians, now they go take them. IS, they go for social media, and that's the end of it, and now so it could just pass. So I don't know. Maybe in my head, it's just playing like, so because with the chest down, with the take arm, we just the take arm, so anything can just go, anything can just fly. All right. Just like one actor, I think it was on Friday that Fumi was saying it, that even the Iran self where they do war and all of that, they still get light. So if they themselves, that are involved in this, they still have light. We that are not directly involved in it. So that means in one way or the other, even themselves, the fuel, the crude oil and all of that is probably still very accessible to them. So where we did here, and then, I know that we do the crude oil, they give, they refine them, send them back and all of that, plus Dangote that is there. With all of these things that are happening now, is it a case of, and the Nigerians now, don't worry, anything what will happen may happen. They go there all right. They will just be all right. So I just, thought, let's talk about this. I hope that our leaders are not taking advantage of the fact that we're a resilient nation and we're always finding a way to make things work, or a way to just make ourselves happy to keep going. That they are taking advantage of that and just, letting things happen to us.
Well, what we're seeing in the power generating sector is an eyesore, and a lot of Nigerians will bear witness to this. I know them from the days we call them never expect power at all times, which was NEPA. To the time they started holding power, we call them power holding. It's the time that they move into discos and all that. I don't think we've ever had these wars. See, when the population was growing, the capacity to generate and to distribute light was not developed, and this is what you are having. There is no nation on earth that uses a central grid system, central distribution system, and survives. And I think there was a time when even Balami Tinubu was the governor of Lagos State and was trying to ensure that it takes Lagos off national grid. Based on the constitution, then it wasn't allowed. But I think in 2023, he himself signed into law the power that gives states the right to generate their own electricity and go off grid. If you notice, a part of Abia State went off national grid, and the governor was still speaking that they are trying to take the whole of Abia off national grid. Because see, when anything happens to national grid, your nation is in darkness.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Lagos has its own grid.
Mm-hmm.
And when something happens to Lagos grid, Ogun State is still enjoying, like Lagos has to deal with that. Any small thing to national grid, and national grid is old. Most upgrades were not done. See, between May 2023 and now that Bola Ahmed Tinubu took over power, I think we've had about 21 grid collapse. National grid collapse is now a song that we sing. The grid just goes down anytime. 2024 was even worse. Grid was just collapsing. The Minister for Power apologizing. No, what's it called? No alternative. And you look at this, everything works hand in hand. If we have stable electricity, the dependency of Nigerians on petroleum or oil will be
Yeah.
limited.
Yeah.
But what do? Businesses, you need oil, whether petrol or diesel, to power.
Mhm.
Households, you need gas. What is it called? Homes, you need petrol to power your generators. Some are switching to other alternative means of energy, but it's not even affordable.
It's not affordable. It's
So
not.
you look at all this, the failure of us as a nation to ensure that the energy sector is totally developed has brought us into this mess that we are in. A lot of policy, but there is no result for the policy being signed to ensure that power generation is constant and power distribution is constant. Go to some communities, you can go and spread clothes on their wires and cables there, because there's no what is it called? There's no future for light. That is how bad it is. So when you now put that side by side with the fact that the cost of fuel is going up and a lot of Nigerians depend on this, then it is a situation whereby we can say we are being enslaved in a land flowing with milk and honey.
Honey.
Now, the excuse, not enough gas. A lot of excuse comes up every time. And in my head, I'm even thinking, maybe next time, if they want to appoint minister for power, maybe they can appoint 3 people, a pastor, an imam, and a traditionalist. They should be there, because it's as if power generation in Nigeria, let's say Nigeria now, they need to go spiritual on it. Because we've had people who we felt were even competent. Fashola was once there, he left it. We've had people who we felt were even competent, but the problem seems to be more than their capacity. And until we tackle it, see, Egypt made progress in electricity generation. South Africa made progress. Now look at Nigeria, a country of about 200 million people, struggling between 4,000 and 5,000 megawatts.
What?
When other countries are generating, African countries, 20-something thousand, 30-something thousand, we are still struggling for a population of about 200 million people. So it is quite a whole lot, because even the thermal plant, they are struggling to get gas to power them. So you look at it, I think we are having energy crisis, which is not even peculiar to electricity alone, because we also have the fuel aspect. So I think there is energy crisis going on, and maybe a state of emergency needs to be declared, because at this point, when a minister starts to apologize and we are saying we'll get it better after we know it is not a quick fix, but there are quick gains that you see from fixing it in the long term.
Yeah.
But we are not even seeing gains from saying no, it's going to go in the long term. We are not even seeing gains. Our almighty minister for power came, gave us the good system. Band A, band B, band C, band E. Now they are dropping people from band A to band C.
The band C.
Some people even drop from band C to
probably non-existent
to no band.
To no
and they are
band.
still paying the fee. You go online, you see people complain that I'm paying fee for band A and I don't even have light for 10 hours a day in my area, and I'm being charged to pay for band A. Energy became expensive for a country living in abject poverty, and most Nigerians are struggling to keep up.
Sure.
A friend of mine, anytime he recharges his meter, sends me the receipt. And I keep asking, why did you send me the receipt? He said, if they send me go village, just know that this is why I'm going to the village. And in the same area, about 4 years ago, in the same area, Rose, we would load 10,000. We have about 22 hours light, or sometimes 24 hours. It doesn't go for days. We will load 10,000, and that 10,000 will still take us for 1 month going to 2 months. But But now, if I tell you how much is loading, and it's not even taking him a bachelor, with just a fridge in his house and the TV set that does not even on. If I tell you, I can't remember the last time he put on his AC. Maybe going to 2 years now, and he's paying that amount of money.
Hmm.
He has not fueled his car. So you look at the irony of what we are going through in Nigeria. I'm tired of them telling us it's going to get better. It's going to get better. Nigeria go better. That was the language I learned as a kid. And will I also tell my children that Nigeria go better? If it is going to be better, and if I'm saying Nigeria go better, I should have data to tell them that, oh, we are growing. When I was your age, it was this, but we grew to this. And hopefully we go to this, so that in your own time, Nigeria will also grow. But it is not, if as is the case. Is it not the same president that told us that if I don't give you stable electricity supply, don't vote me for second term?
And here we are. He said we are resilient people.
And then it became worse. And they're telling us see, poverty and hardship will make you so resilient that you feel you are just adapting. It's not that you're adapting. You are suffering in silo, but basically you feel like you are adapting to the situation. No, you are killing yourself gradually. So it's going to be better. So what promises would they tell us again to campaign? Would they tell us that, okay, if we do not get it, because see, it was better a bit before we got to 2023. When everything, yam pepper scatter, everything just scatter. It was better a bit, ask people. Now we are hoping that state governors will now be proactive, try to find a way to start generating power on their own and have their own gencos. The transmission lines are old. So it is a whole lot. See, I can tell you categorically that even in an area where they generate power, I'm talking about the Kanji axis, go to the main town, New Busa, they are also suffering power. So they are not having enough light. They are sharing their light in a community that generates electricity. So this problem is quite peculiar, and I don't think at this point we should be hearing that Nigerians are resilient, is going to be better, is going to be this. Let's see practical solutions to ensure that electricity generation and power generation, especially energy in Nigeria, is affordable to an average Nigeria. How much is minimum wage? 70,000.
Emmanuel,
how much do you want to pay for light? How much do you want to get fuel? Don't forget that your 70,000 minimum wage can only get about 50 to 60 liters of fuel per month. So what we go through now is the fact that the cost of energy determines a whole lot of things we do.
It affects
determines food, transportation, determines housing itself. Because now we are so bad and so backward in areas that we've not seen the light, that when you move to an area, they will tell you this area is band A, therefore the house rent in that area goes up.
It just goes up.
Country of people that still think they are in 1864. They tell you because there is light, then you have to pay more. We are just, most of us, 90% of us in Nigeria, we are just authoritarian. But because we are not in power yet, it's not showing. We practice fascist system of government, most of us, and we blame the politicians who are in power. But when they give us a seat at the table, we do worse. That is by design. But the energy or electricity crisis in Nigeria, there has to be an end to it. But with the policy and all that, I've not even seen anything, because we have a very fragile system. So even a small disruption will trigger a nationwide blackout.
So say.
And that's what we see every time. And I'm not even sure that whether the minister had the whole grasp of this before he was made minister for power. Because we are expecting a certain malam to be minister for power based on the fact that he has been studying, he has been bringing proposals to ensure that this work, but I don't even know. So it is going to be a long ride. The president has said that there is going to be light at the end of the tunnel. But the truth is, if you cannot generate light, how will there be light at the end of the tunnel? It's going to still be darkness.
You can shout through shades, Emmanuel. All right, this is your Women Radio WFM 91.7, and it's about 7 minutes after 8, or rather past 8, right here on Women Radio. Do well to dial the numbers 07000 917 917 or 09155 917 917. Feel free to send us WhatsApp messages to 070 317 56537 or 08155 917 917. This is a daily news review on the full breakfast. My name is Rose, and of course, Emmanuel, our analyst, is here with me this morning, and we're just looking at different, headlines this morning. And Emmanuel, I was about to say, what baffles me about this is that the same people that are telling us that we're resilient people, it's not like they are feeling what we are feeling to know that we're resilient people. They are just there buying all the fuel, buying everything and doing everything they can do, and then calling us a resilient people. Let's pick the score first. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Mrs. Oboli. How was the weekend?
Still alive.
We're all alive, Mrs. Oboli. We will be.
I got the colors resilient people. God. What a picture. Mr. Emmanuel, please, I want you to pen a couple of things I have to say down this morning. I said I will not call today, but you and don't make me want to one or two before I should start this new week into the new month. Happy Easter in advance, by the way.
Yeah.
Happy Easter.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Mr. Emmanuel, please. I don't know if I'm going to sound, that all of us now, majority of us in Nigeria now, some of us is working anti-clockwise. So we can start thinking things out of the blue. It's not our fault. Is the way the climatic weather is pushing us left and right, and our head is just shaking left and right. You see, there's this Yoruba proverb that says, it simply implies that we should first and foremost look at our vicinity, our environment, before giving our children names. You stirred up something this morning. I've said it in times past, but I may be wrong and I may be right as well. I think the names we've been giving these NEPA people is also part of the problem. Maybe we should start considering that. Since you have said we should bring in pastors, imams, and herbalists, I would say we should also consider that giving them another name, like a Christian, another name. NEPA PLC, like you said, never expect power always. The PLC at the back is, please light candles. We can change that name, and we have. We changed that name to power holding. They hold power, and you and I, including Rose, we are complaining. Not that we give them name, and then we move to disco. Mr. Emmanuel, what is the essence of a disco light? Disco light is never stable. It is always dancing to and fro, looking for whom to destroy. So what do you expect? Disco light will never stand in one place. And then we moved from disco, we went to grid, G-R-I-D. It's also synonymous with G-R-E-E-D. Grid, something that is blocked, something that stands still, immovable, immutable. What do you expect? So the grid of the politics stars will always cause this grid to have a gridlock. Can you see the genesis of the name? Then finally, to crown everything up, or to scatter it, we now move to band A, band B, band C, band D, rubber band, and band D. Mr. Emmanuel, what is band? Band used to band something. It hold it bound. It will never let go. What is the job of rubber band? You need it to seal. You can't combine. then bandits has never done anything good in this country. Can you see that the trajectory of names? Call me stupid, call me whatever, but I'm just saying, you need to check them now in your own little coffer. Don't give me your response. When we meet again, you tell me if I am right or wrong. Now, let's move forward. They said we are resilient. Are you considering this resilience or docility as a people? Some have argued that we have been judged to silence. I beg to differ. Because cowards die, they say, many times before they are dead. Okay? Now, if you say it is just, if then just me, then just Emmanuel, then just Rose. No. Instead, I would rather say we have been shoved forward. You know, majority of us, our silence have been bought. Those people that are kept quiet today have a price tag to be silent, even when they see the oddities playing out in the policy. It's so annoying and frustrating. So they cannot buy my silence or your silence or Rose's silence. They cannot buy our silence. Well, I would rather say those whose silence has been bought, they are the one that we have to contend with, and they make us look bad, as if all of us are together in this their negative trade. But it is wrong. Finally, because the cost of living is killing the living, people are considering relocating to the villages as we speak. There won't be an end to this crisis, Mr. Emmanuel and Rose, because some people are benefiting from the inefficiencies and the lacuna in the power sector. Those that are selling solar, those selling generator, those selling one thing or the other as an alternative power. People are pushing out their own things. And you expect, and this also political power, you know, power players in our policy. They are the ones pushing these things. And you expect this crisis to be over in a jiffy. I don't think so. Good morning. Follow me back this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Oboli. Thank you for calling. I just hope that we get to have a great day. Let's pick this call and then maybe get to react to all of this, Emmanuel. Hi, good morning, fantastic.
Good morning, Mother.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. Good morning. God bless. I
Good morning,
listened
sir.
to what Mr. Goli said, and I try to agree with him. I used to say this. I say, I want to there will be that. What's happening? Some of us, I should like this, Emmanuel. Some of us get out the worst. Use the to say we are carbon copy of our leader. And tell me how we change get better. The way, yes. On this power of the thing. So many governments have come and gone. Actually, can't you decentralize the state like Abia State? Look at what Abia is doing, even as a governor. Is it not the same money that this can get out of? What is other states? Sometimes, yes, they blame federal, yes. But sometimes, what money is going to the state? Why can't they do something? Some of us are getting something from this. That you wait for this one is not good. Do you know some people say that this one they'll be taken to mortuary? Do you know that one day also we are a religious board? I can do anything and get away here. If you can't get away from it, we need the situation in this country. And here, the way we behave, church, religion, we are just being religious. Religion, we can't go anywhere. It's taking us to nowhere. We are doing the wrong thing, please. Both our political and religious that kill us. In those days, you go to church, you come back, you do electrician. If you are feeling something, you are taking money to see, you go back and restore it back. But nowadays, the moment you bring it out of coffin, everything goes. And God don't need to fight for me. So you need to do things like, Emmanuel, that better Nigeria, it all depends on us. Let's start for me. You anywhere we ask in the fear of God. If I tell the story I had here I worked before, you didn't trust me because I said not to be. I said I'm not going to do the business. You have never make money in life. And I look at, so now when I look at all this, I just go study my Bible, believe God, and I never do anything wrong. I know this. So one day, God is waiting for me. Man, continue. I believe what you say 100%. We should all learn to do. All of anywhere I do. That's when Nigeria will change. Our leaders are doing their own up. We are doing our own, and we are praying for Nigeria together. Now, God bless you. God bless you. I'm here to go again. Let's people hope and life. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Evangelist Dixon, for calling and giving us your thoughts on this. You can also do the same by dialing 07000 Also dial 09155 Feel free to send those WhatsApp messages and text messages to 070 or 08155 Those are the numbers to get in touch with us this morning on the program Daily News Review on the Full Breakfast. My name is Rose, and I have Emmanuel with me this morning as our analyst for today. And it's about 18 minutes past 8 right here on Women Radio. All right, Emmanuel, I'll just give you a few minutes to react to this, and then maybe let me just cuckoo add this one to it. The one about, I don't know how it comes to you or how you feel, but a lot of times when I hear people saying that, fuel in Nigeria is cheap, we should be very lucky. We are very lucky that you are still buying. Your fuel here is cheap now. Forgetting that at the end of the day, the other countries that have high prices in fuel, they have good alternative energy, supply. So if it's either I'm buying fuel or I'm using solar or I'm using electricity, to probably to power my car. I don't even need gen. So if it's not for you to sit down and say, oh, I don't know how it comes to you, but the thing just they do me one kind share. It just gets to me. It hits me differently when I hear people saying that, especially, some of our leaders that will say, we should be very happy now. Fuel in Nigeria is still cheap. Meanwhile, it's killing us. Meanwhile, it's killing us as if an oil producing country. So this actually came from Oyeloran Oyeyinka, who was saying that, according to the report on Daily Post, it says fuel in Nigeria not cheap. Stop naira to dollar conversion comparison. That it is not it at all. At the end of the day, Emmanuel mentioned it here. Most Nigerians are earning 70,000 naira, minimum wage, and fuel is 1,300 or more per liter, depending on the state where all of this are coming from. When we want to look at how this affects other places or other parts of our economy, where we won't carry and go. So I just want you to react to that and some of the things that our callers have said, and then after that we'll get to read up the messages we have before we call it a day.
All right, basically, let me just start by saying that Mrs. Oboli this morning just spoke in satire. And who am I? I'm no Shakespeare to decipher what she has said using satire. But I'm very sure an ordinary Nigeria understands the use of a satire this morning, and they can pick up the thematic structure in what she has said. Though it might sound funny, but she has spoken a bit of truth using satire to analyze what is happening. Basically, I look at people who convert Nigerian fuel price in naira to dollar and they say fuel is cheap. This is why I always tell you that, see, school is good. You can go to school, graduate, and be brilliant and everything. But if you go back to the scripture, Solomon asked for knowledge. It is different. You can be brilliant and not be knowledgeable. And I think it's what is applicable in our society today. A lot of brilliant mind, but lacks basic knowledge of how things works. If you are converting this, I think I said earlier on that 70,000 can only get about 50 to 60 liters of fuel per month. Now put that against transportation, against food prices, against rent and services. That is why the Nigerian Labour Union says we are having starvation level under current fuel cost. They describe the current wages in Nigeria as starvation level. Now, the bottom line to this is the fact that Nigeria has one of the lowest wages globally.
They not go sit down and talk.
Fuel is not the cheapest when adjusted to income. I'm not an economist, but if you sit down with economists, these are what they will tell you.
That's
fuel
what
in Nigeria
is
not the cheapest when adjusted to income. Now, the real crisis is in Nigeria is low earning power versus rising cost of living. That is where the crisis in Nigeria is. See, we are having low earning power and we are having rising cost of living. Maybe they want to argue this and put it in dollar that they always convert to. The minimum wage is about $42 in Nigeria. Is it 42? I think about 13. I think it should be about 42 to 50. While in India, it's about $64. Pakistan, they have about, I think, $115. And I think the US is over $1,000. So now, the same thing they are complaining about, let's now put fuel in dollars that they always compare to, because we have to be practical here and show their way of thinking when they come with these arguments. I think Nigeria, fuel now should be, how much is dollar? I think about fuel is about 1.3 now. So dollar should be about 1.4 or so.
1.4,
So
yeah.
fuel should be about 0.85 cents or so. That is almost $1. In Egypt, it's about 38 cents. Libya producing oil, I think it's about 14 cents. Now they compare us to the US. US still struggles between about 90 cents and $1. Almost the same thing with Nigeria. But US has a minimum wage of over $1,000. And in Nigeria, we have about $40 to $50. So what we are saying is that our fuel is even more expensive than most oil-producing nations. And it is now critically expensive compared to income. So people are not earning high wages in Nigeria, but they are paying for high cost of living. So in areas where they are comparing us to, people earn high wages, fuel is affordable. In Nigeria, it's low wages, rising fuel prices, and affordability crisis happens. Now, people decide where they drive their car to. You have to decide whether your car is for church runs, public transport is for market runs. You have to just decide. It is not the era where you wake up and start crisscrossing around one part of town to another, gallivanting about. You have to think about the fuel. So the problem, as highlighted, is not the fact that they wake up and compare and pick up dollar and tell us that, oh, we are, what's it called? It's 1.3. If you convert other country, they should tell us the other country minimum wage also, how much they earn, and then bring it side by side. Cost of living and minimum wage, and put it side by side and see if they are the one earning it, whether fuel will not be affordable to them. It's a shame. You started, when I started the program, as I close, I started the program by saying that you listen to someone who said his family is outside the country and they are enjoying, but Nigeria is getting better. If Nigeria is getting better, milk and honey is flowing, yes, sir, you will move your family down to Nigeria. But ask most of them today, even most of these celebrities jumping up and down, where are their families? Ask them. So you know that there are other lands that you can go to and enjoy the benefit of things. Yet, you come to Nigeria, and then we have to pay through our noses.
Okay.
But in all of these things, once they give an average Nigerian rice, it forgets its problem.
Maybe we saw a video of MC Olomo doing some sharings
See,
in the PDP convention at APC.
You can't have a rice economy and expect Nigerians to complain. That's on a lighter note, because I'm just saying, after we've analyzed all these things, there's no light. You just see Nigerians going to rice distribution center to collect rice. Maybe rice is our energy alternative. I don't know. But as I close, it's just a dilemma that 2026, when other nations are talking about how to deal with other things, we are still talking about energy and power generation. And without energy, the economy cannot thrive. And that is the problem we've been facing. Solve energy problem and see industrialization take place. That's my take this morning, Rose.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Before we go, let's take up these messages. Let's start up with additional Wasu from Ikorodu. He says, top of the morning to you in the studio. Kwankoso is moving to ADC is a boost for opposition, but my worry is that can ADC manage the people? Because it's clear each of them are there, are their selfish ambition. I hope Atiku Abubakar will act like Ashwaju Bola Tinubu, who supports Atiku Abubakar in 2007 and Nuru Ribadu in 2011, and also Muhammadu Buhari in 2015 to contest presidential election. All these are on record. I hope Atiku Abubakar will act as a statesman by supporting someone from the southern parts of Nigeria to be a candidate of ADC in 2027. Failure to do this will not be okay for ADC. And he also goes on to say that on Iran and Israel war, President Trump made a great mistake by going to this war without thinking of the implications. And President Trump is not a trustworthy leader. In one instance, is calling for dialogue with Iran. In another, is taking U.S. Marine soldiers to Iran. Nobody will believe him because this war was started by him um, when he talked when the talks were still going on, and for all marketers who refuse to reduce their price after Dangote refinery reduced price, Nigerians problem. For Oluo of Iwo statements, if you know Oluo very well, you won't take him serious. All right, thank you very much, Additional Wasu from Ikorodu. Olusuga Jai from Odonla Ikorodu says the game has just begun. Let's see how it unfolds. The only person who can make the sacrifice needed for a balanced election is Atiku. A Tinubu Shetima versus Obi Kwankwaso contest would make it a truly competitive race. That's a tough game. All right, thank you very much. Anderson Itoki says, good morning, Rose and Co. The monarch who said Nigerians may call for constitutional amendment for Tinubu third term should keep that to himself and his family. I know we have so many Nigerians who talk with both sides of their mouth, but the time some view by the time some few naira note is rubbing their palm, they just like the monarch that made the statement but refuse to know that he can't laud any reasonable Nigerians to do unexpected. Thank you very much, Anderson. It's okay. Now, this is all wrap it up for today. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for being a part of the program this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Well, yeah, do well to have a great day and enjoy the rest of the week. All right. So, yes, thank you so much to Mrs. Oboli, Evangelist Dixon, that called, and to each and every one of you who sent in messages and tuned in to listen this morning. We say a very big thank you to you. All right. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser. Let's do this again tomorrow, God willing, at 7:30. We'll be here. And like I said, for me, it's just off to take some days. So let's allow her enjoy her leave. And when she comes back, we'll be here. We go day a day with forum. All right. You all have a great day and stay with us right here at